Good people. Hope your day's going well. Thank you for tuning in. The All Go Podcast. Want to talk about my hometown, Detroit Lions. I think it is clear. 8-1 team. They're the best team in the NFL. I mentioned this, I believe, a week or two ago. I thought they were a better. I thought they were the best team in the NFL at that point, even with the Chiefs being undefeated and Lions having one loss, and that's still the same scenario today. But I really think that win over the Houston Texans, a playoff team, your quarterback's just not playing well. O-line's not playing well. Things, I mean, it just snowballing at that point. I mean, by the time you get to halftime, it's 23-7. And Jared Goff throws two more interceptions after halftime, and you still end up winning that game 26-23. Just many thoughts on the game. Number one, for me, when I see Jared, when those first one or two pass attempts don't go well, I usually get pretty concerned because he seems to be, in my opinion, a guy that needs to get in rhythm. And even his first pass attempt Sunday night was like a ball. It looked like he went to throw it, kind of like pump faked it a bit, and the ball just kind of slipped out of his hand. And just like, what is going? Like, Jared, what are you doing? And it was just crazy. He made the plays when he had to, but it was just in general a rough game with those turnovers. But uh, to me, the Lions have won in almost every way imaginable this season. And then also you couple in the experience from last year. They've blown teams out. They've gone with the back and forth nip and tuck games, like for example with Seattle. The Titans game, obviously we blew them out. We had Green Bay. It was ugly as far as the elements go, but the Lions were pretty dominant there. And then also you have with the obviously the Texans game, get down by 16, 17 points at half, and just continue to fight and just continue to just not give up, because that game would have been pretty easy to just mail it in. And honestly, watching the game at halftime, I was kind of thinking that part of me in my mind was like, man, you know what? It's just not our day. I think, and I was getting ready to go to bed because it's just late. So was thinking, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll just go to bed. Like, yeah, we just don't seem to have it today. And it's the NFL. It just happens, right? And it's not even as if Houston's a bad team. Houston is a pretty good team, but some days you just don't have it. No matter what. Like the Kansas City Chiefs are 9-0 right now, and they're not. I don't think they're going to go undefeated, and they're probably going to drop a game to a team that is not as good as them. And it just kind of happens sometimes. It's the NFL. The guys on both sides are getting paid a whole lot of money to play football, so that part kind of happens. But they just kept fighting, kept battling, and it is, to me, interesting and a little bit ironic that so we're playing a playoff team down by 16 at half, and we're able to come back and win that game, which that's what ended our season in the playoffs last year. Was we're up, I think it was 17 points at half against San Francisco, and let them come back and didn't let them come back. San Francisco came back and ended up beating us in that game. So I just, with a team that is just in general playing well, last game notwithstanding, to just be able to battle through, persevere. I really just think that the Lions are the best team in the NFL. Obviously, you've got a long season. Still have they're 8-1, 9, so we've got 8 more games. Yeah, 8 more games for the regular season, which quite a few still. We've only played 2 division games, so we have 4 left. Both our games with the Bears, and then the home games with Green Bay and the Vikings. So we still have plenty of work to do. But what I also think will be crucial for the Lions is getting that 1 seed. And I know they're in the driver's seat right now. They are a 1-loss team. I think the Vikings have 2 losses. I think they are, as it stands right now, I believe are the what would be the second team in the NFC, the 2 seed. But keep in mind the Lions already have, what is that? So 1.5 games? Is that how it works? Or 2 games up? But because we beat the Vikings head to head already, and we also have another game ahead of them, I believe we're a couple games up on them. But my point is the reason I think it's important for us to get that 1 seed is the bye week, because the Lions did have a relatively early bye week, like week 5 or something earlier in the season. I think having that week off will be pretty big for the Lions to be able to just heal up, get healthy, and even too for some teams that will advance that you may end up playing. Some of those guys might get banged up in that game too. You just never know. If it's, let's say, Seattle, for example, if DK Metcalf gets banged up in their first round game, their wild card game, but they still end up winning, and we play Seattle, for example. It's a war of attrition. It really is. So I think the Lions have dealt with their fair share of injuries for sure, especially with Hutch going down. But I think it'll be big for them to get that 1 seed. And they should be, pushing for that. And it seems like, all signs point to that. But interested to see how they perform down the stretch. But got all the confidence in the world. I think they're going to I think they're the best team in the NFL, and I do think they're going to win the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens. We got plenty of time. But that is it for me. Peace.